What's up, you guys? What's going on? I think we live right now. Live, and in color. Yes, we are live on YouTube. How you guys doing? What it do? What it do? This is Erick Brent. Hope you guys having a great Saturday. This is the Family Cash Machine. We coming to you guys live from Santo Domingo. You guys know what it do. I'm from Compton, California, and I'm gonna go ahead and talk about today Bitcoin again. You guys broke a record yesterday, 55,000. And today it's at 56,000 as we speak. So it's still kind of lingering right there. They don't know what it's going to do. There's a lot of institutional money coming into this industry. It's a huge opportunity it's an indication, really, for me, this is an indication that there's a huge opportunity for many of you guys out there, not just on Bitcoin. I do want to stress this. I'm always stressing this to you guys as we talk about the cryptocurrency. I'm not just focusing on cryptocurrency. I also teach you guys about generational wealth and how is it that my people could position themselves to create generational wealth. Now, of course, that's not everybody because you have to first develop that kind of mindset. This comes with a certain mindset to want to be successful. It's not just, go to school and you're going to be successful either. A lot of people have a lot of degrees and they still don't have any direction. They still don't have any, focus or they don't have any purpose in life. So it's just not about degrees. It's about redefining who you are. It's about redefining what the world is and how money is being made and figuring out a way to recreate yourself in accord to the global economy as it is. So again, I'm excited because I'm seeing some vindication of years and years of hard work and study and research on my own. I'm seeing right now, and I'm actually enjoying some of the benefits of the hard work and sacrifices that have taken place over the last 4 or 5 years with my team and in this whole industry, trying to establish ourselves as credible individuals who actually know what they're talking about. And so it's very hard to establish yourself amongst, our people who have kind of trust issues and, not really just trust issues, but they also have issues in understanding and believing in someone. So, when you just jump out there and say, hey, this new technology and you're trying to explain this to people, they have a tendency of not paying attention to you. So now we've gotten your attention. You guys see, we know what we're talking about. We've been on to this for many years, and we're trying our best to get our people involved in what's going on. Now, let's do this. Let's go into some facts here. Let's go into some news. Now, I was reading today that there's a research analyzing organization on Wall Street, the AIM, that actually ARK Investments. They actually said that if Bitcoin, if the S&P 500, anybody knows about S&P 500s, it's one of the top performing index on Wall Street. And so what they were saying is if the S&P 500 just takes 1% of all the S&P 500s investments, just 1%, if they put in Bitcoin, just 1%, then Bitcoin would shoot up another $40,000 to around $90,000 or $100,000. Wow. I'm gonna say that again. If the S&P 500 just took 1% and invested it in Bitcoins, all the S&P 500, all of the different indexes just put 1% of their investment into Bitcoins, it would shoot Bitcoin's price to over 40 more thousand than where it's at now, which will be 97, almost close to $100,000. So it's still not too late, you guys. It's still percolating. It's still brewing. Okay. Now the other thing I wanted to say is if is a fifth, what the people say, if was a fifth, we all be drunk. But we're not too far away from that if, because now, it's really stirring up some things and people are really talking about this seriously. Conversations with real heavy institutions are really talking about Bitcoin, are really seriously analyzing the track record. Okay, now They also said if the S&P 500 indexes decide to put 10% of their investment in Bitcoin, it would shoot up Bitcoin over 400,000. Wow. So we just not scratching the surface yet. But again, you guys, I wanted to say to you guys that my assignment is to not just teach you guys about Bitcoin, but teach you guys about the technology that's undergirding and the foundation of Bitcoin, which is blockchain technology and decentralized blockchain technology, because there is a difference between centralized and decentralized. So I want to say this, and I want to say this, that, you know, many of you guys have been focused on Bitcoin, and I've been seeing a lot of people, oh, Bitcoin, it did 400%. Oh my God, Bitcoin, 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 Bitcoin. And this is the brand name. This is what they want you to focus on. Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Oh my God, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Because that is the granddaddy. That's the first cryptocurrency that has created itself. Okay. But from Bitcoin, we had Ethereum. And then other altcoins was created. Now, as I was looking at some of the other cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin shot up 400%, but I also saw a certain cryptocurrency that shot up 4,000%. Nobody's talking about them. How much money did people make on that? How many people made millions of dollars on that? Nobody's talking about that. I also saw another particular coin that went up 5,000%. Do you know how many people bought that coin when it was worth nothing? And they may be sitting on millions of those coins. When they get talking about a 4,000% increase, you know how much money these people made? And nobody's talking about that. I actually saw a coin that went up 8,000%. And nobody's talking about it. I also saw a coin that went up 12,000%. We're not talking 300%, 4% like Bitcoin. We're talking 12,000%. And they're not talking about it because they want you to focus on Bitcoin, and they don't want you to focus on this industry, which is what I'm trying to get you focused on, is cryptocurrency, decentralized blockchain technology, period. That's the jewel. That's the one that's going to make so many people so much money. And that's the one that's going to change so many different industries and disrupt so many industries around the world. Things won't be the same if we really utilize this technology. And this technology has the ability to really disrupt major corporations like Uber and major corporations like Facebook. These are centralized corporations. They can be disrupted. Okay, now I know you guys might think Uber is decentralized. No, it's not. Uber is an app. But I'm gonna say this: these major corporations can be disrupted, and the wealth can be redistributed. It can be redistributed into more people, more individuals. And I'm gonna give you an example. And I'm gonna use Uber. Now, Uber made over $40 billion, I think, last year. So let's say Uber came in with an app. That app is connected to a server. And then everybody, all the drivers, they have access to this app. The app is owned by certain individuals. Okay, that's centralized. I'm going to show you how it's centralized. So you go to the app, you download the app, you go through the corporation, and you first get hired as a driver. And then what happens from there is you are able to access this app with other drivers, and you go out and you connect with the users, but the users' information and data is with Uber. Okay, their financial information, their credit card information, all of that is with Uber app. Then let me say this. Let's say, for instance, right now the trip is $100. Only 25% is going to the driver. The rest goes to Uber. So the particular user is paying $100, $20 is going to the driver, or $25, and $75 is going to Uber. Now let's rewind. Let's go to a decentralized app, meaning it has no server, it has no owner, it's just smart contracts. And it's something that drivers and users could directly connect with each other without a third party. We're gonna call this one Goober, okay? Now let's say Goober has a decentralized network where all the different drivers and all the different riders can connect directly with one another. So let's say I'm a driver and somebody through Goober connects with me, and instead of charging them $100, I can charge them $60. Wow. And I keep all the profits. Now, what did that just do? That just saved the user $40. So it made the ride cheaper for the user, and it made the driver make more money because we cut out the third party. That's decentralization, because now everything is on a network. There is no server, there is no middleman, there is no corporation. It is just network upon network and connections upon connections, direct peer-to-peer. That's decentralization, and it has the power to even disrupt something like Uber. We can disrupt the disruptors because Uber disrupted the cab companies. We can disrupt the disruptors with decentralization, true decentralization. So this is a most powerful industry that has the power, again, to redistribute wealth to the masses of the people. So a lot of these crazy economists are going to sit here and say, well, Bitcoin doesn't really have any usability. It's really not a use case for it. And that's because you don't know. You know, my mom told me a long time ago, it's best that people think you're a fool, then open your mouth and remove all doubt. How about that? Sometimes if you don't know, just shut your mouth, because you guys are making yourself look really, really stupid. Now, I want to read something that I saw today. It was an argument with gold and quote unquote financial advisors and professionals, and they were arguing about cryptocurrency, because you know they're kind of mad right now. They're really in their feelings that Bitcoin is performing the way it's performing, and so it's outperforming gold. It hasn't quite caught the market cap of gold, but look, gold had what, 5,000 year head start. But guess what? It took 5,000 years for gold to reach $700 an ounce. Bitcoin started with no value in 2008 to now $56,000, $57,000 a coin. And guess what? It's not even a coin. It's invisible. So go figure which one outperformed which one. I don't know. I would say Bitcoin outperformed it. But I'm going to talk about these 10 different factors that some of these gurus are saying that really will make Bitcoin not a competitor with gold. I really want to read these 10 to you guys. Let me see if I can pull them up. Where are they at? It's not coming up. My phone would be taking its time at this time. Isn't that something? So let me see if I can read this. There were 10 factors. This is one thing about going live. You get little quirks like this. I just had this on my phone a minute ago, and now it's acting up. It's not loading. Okay, it's trying to get me to buy something. But let me try to see these 10 factors, because it's interesting. I want to really go through them for you guys and break this down so you guys can see that most of these so-called gurus don't know what they're talking about. Most of them. Here's one, okay? My vote would be gold. Okay, now this is Mr. David Rosenberg of Rosenberg Research, former chief economist and strategist for Merrill Lynch, Canada, and Merrill Lynch in New York. So these are heavyweights. And again, like I told you guys, I don't have a degree in ecology, economy, economics, or I don't have a degree in finance, but I have a lot of common sense. Common sense beats everything, believe me. So let's read this. Holding gold, he says, my vote would be for gold because it has thousands of years of historical record as a store of value. It has 1/5 of the volatility of Bitcoin and doesn't face the same competitive risk. The day that Queen Elizabeth trades in 5 pounds of gold in her crown for crypto is the day I'll shift course. Now, that was not a good example, because when you talk about a queen or a king, you're talking about almost an authoritarianism, or you're talking about a dictatorship. It's a monarchy, but monarchies are pretty much like a dictatorship. You do as I say. And it's like one person that's calling the shots, the king or the queen. You cannot oppose them. You have to follow their orders. It doesn't get more centralized than that. What king or queen is going to allow the people to have a consensus, a system that allows them to have a equal vote, and that the people's consensus and vote and algorithms of consensus controls the rule of the day. What king or queen is going to allow you to have a system that the people can determine value and the people can control distribution of wealth? What king and queen is going to allow that? So that's not even a good example, at all, because, no government, no king, no queen, no monarchy, no dictatorship is going to want a cryptocurrency system, a decentralized cryptocurrency system where the people are the power. That's the oxymoron. That's not going to happen. So, David Rosenberg, you have a centralized mindset. You don't understand what cryptocurrency is. You're not qualified to even define it. You're not even qualified to determine its value. Bam. That's interesting there that he even said that. And what he talked about volatility, and he talked about a gold having thousands of years. We had no internet thousands of years ago. So that again is a bad analysis, because we didn't have Google 1,000 years ago. We didn't have email 1,000 years ago. I mean, I can go on and on with 1,000 years ago. I mean, if you want to go back thousands of years, why are you not riding a camel? You're driving a Mercedes-Benz every day. You're not living like they lived, thousands of years ago. So that's just not even a good example to me, because things change, technology comes in, medical science, all these things change, and we have to modify, we have to advance with technology. Okay, now this other guy here, let me see, who is this? This is Phil Baker, president and CEO of Hecla Mining Company. Okay, gold and silver have been stores of value and mediums of exchange for at least 4 millennia in every civilization and every corner of the world. It has unmatched accessibility to people of economic standing and technological knowledge. And gold is the ultimate currency of central banks, silver of the people. There is room for cryptocurrencies too, since their digital nature is a fundamental difference from gold and silver, but that characteristic also ensures the cryptocurrencies will never replace gold and silver and will ultimately improve the metal's value. How is metal and cryptocurrency have anything in common? They don't, because cryptocurrency is not even a physical object. For one, you're talking about a physical object silver and a physical object gold. Also, we have to keep in mind, this is Phil Baker, president and CEO of Hecla Mining. He has a mining company. Duh. That's just like going to Blockbuster back in the early 2000s and asking them to analyze Netflix. So, we know there's Blockbuster's gone now. So Netflix took them out. So I'm pretty sure if you'd have asked Blockbuster back in the day their opinion of Netflix, they would have said, oh yeah, that's not going to work. You guys don't want to use that. You want to keep coming in here and buying videos. That's not going to work. That streaming stuff, your internet might go in and out. You're not going to work the streaming. Oh no, that's not going to work. Pretty sure they would have had a pretty bad analysis of Netflix, because it was their competitor and it was something that threatened their and was competition. So therefore, people fight change a lot. They fight change, and I'm noticing that they're all leaning on the fact that gold and silver was used for millennium and millennium. But you got to remember, those thousands and thousands of years ago, when they was using gold and silver, they had no Wall Street. They had no options and futures and all this manipulation of the price of gold and silver. Now they do. Okay, now here's someone else. Let me go. It's only 5 of them. Just bear with me here. This Sylvia Carrasco, CEO and founder of the gold exchange platform GoldX. Again, these gold people, to me, are not going to tell you go use crypto. I mean, duh. They're not going to tell you that. Why would they tell you that? It's like I said, back to the example that the cab drivers back in the day would have told you guys don't use Uber. Oh no, don't use that Uber stuff. That's an app. That's on the internet. Your phone might go out. You can't get a cab. They would have told you all kind of stuff on why not to use Uber. I don't think the cab drivers would have been a good advisor to people to use Uber for obvious reasons. Okay, so she said, gold has been long considered to be the safe haven asset of choice. Again, we're leaning on history. We're talking about back in the days of Jesus and back in the days of Moses when they started using gold. They didn't have internet. They didn't have cell phones. They didn't have Apple. Okay? Now, try walking through the airport with 50,000 worth of gold. One Bitcoin is 50,000. You can have 10 Bitcoins in your phone and nobody knows. You can have 10 Bitcoins in the cloud and not carry that around. Try to walk through the airport with 10 bars of gold. I don't think that's going to work out for you too well. Okay, so back to what I'm saying. It's debatable that it will eat into gold's market share for a number of reasons. Let me see what the reasons are. Bitcoin and gold have significant advantages over fiat. That's true. Fiat currencies, because neither can be diluted or debased. Not true. I saw that statement. She said cryptocurrency and gold cannot be debased. That's not true. If you study back in the Greek days, when the Greeks were the first ones actually to come up with a coin. At first, we used to trade gold, and gold was kind of hard to trade because some people had boulders, some people had dust, some people had pebbles, and it was really hard to evaluate the portion of gold versus whatever you were buying or selling. So they would weigh it. Okay? But then when they came out with the coins, those coins all had a certain size and they all had a certain value. So when the Greeks came out with that, it made it more efficient to use gold. But what happened was they debased it. The Greeks had so many wars, they started cutting the gold with copper. And they put a little bit in there, and it didn't debase it too much. And then they kept adding more and more and more over the years. And nobody wanted to take the Greek coins after a while because it was cut. It wasn't pure. So when she says that you can't debase gold, that's not true. It's been done. And that's why you have to always get a certificate. Whenever gold sits so long, you have to pretty much get it remelted and certified that that it's real, because it's going to always come back to its weight. So that's it's kind of hard to do that. You don't have to do that with cryptocurrency, but with gold, after you hold it so long, you do have to recertify it, and that's a process. Okay, so because it can be debased, my point. This is a possibility that Bitcoin could one day cease to exist through hostile legislation. That's not true. This person doesn't know what they're talking about. I got to show you guys the stuff that they're saying. They're not educated in this industry, because let's say the government does say cryptocurrency is illegal. Now, if you have a decentralized coin like Monero, or you have a privacy coin that like Ethereum, where they can't really track or see, and if you have a decentralized wallet that doesn't require your name, and you're using VPNs and all this stuff, basically you're invisible. So if somebody tells you you can't walk down the street butt naked, but you're invisible, you don't care, right? How do they know you're butt naked? Because you're invisible. So it's going to be awfully hard for governments to regulate something they can't really see. And that's why they got all these exchanges popping up. They have all these companies now that they're regulating so they could visibly see you, okay? Because if you're moving in the way the family cash machine is going to teach you, you'll know when to pop up and when to pop in. You'll know when to pop out and pop in. You'll know how to go in the matrix and come out the matrix when you want. You'll understand how to move in an anonymous way when you want to move in an anonymous way. And you'll have to, of course, we have to deal with this world. We can't stay underground. At some point, you have to deal with the world in finance, but you'll know how to become invisible when you want with this technology, because there are several wallets where you don't need a name. There are several exchanges that's decentralized. You don't need your name or your social. And so there are several coins that are anonymous and privacy coins that keep you private. Nobody even know you have them. So if that being the case, how do you regulate that? How do you watch something that's encrypted, that has an encryption where you can't even get in there? And even if you could get in there, there's no names. There's just numbers. How do you know who's who? So that's blah, 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 blah. That sound good, but that's not going to happen. The only way they can stop cryptocurrency, they would have to shut off all of the electricity in the world and all the internets in the world. And guess what? That's not going to happen, because everything is not direct connected. We're connected in our homes, our businesses. They can shut that off, of course. But there's still solar energy. There's still windmills. There's still water dams. There's so many ways to produce energy. Good luck trying to stop the blockchain. Good luck trying to stop cryptocurrency. That's not gonna happen. Okay, but she doesn't know. This lady is, she don't know what's going on. Okay, some Bitcoin derivatives have already been banned. Companies such as Facebook, who have attempted to start crypto, have been prevented from doing so. She's using that as an example. For real? Bitcoin is decentralized. Remember, they can't stop Bitcoin because they don't know, it's not an owner, it's not a headquarters, there's nobody to serve a cease and desist order. It is millions and millions of people all over the world connected in a decentralized network. The network runs the coin. Wow. So you would have to stop 100 million people around the world simultaneously, which is impossible. Okay, now you can't even compare Facebook and what they were doing in accord to Facebook. In accord to Bitcoins. Facebook has a centralized coin. Facebook has over 2 million people on one website. That's 1/3 of the world's population. Facebook was not doing a decentralized coin. They were doing a coin that Facebook controls. And not to add, Facebook owns WhatsApp. I don't know how many people's on there. That's worldwide. And they also own Instagram. So you're looking at a company that probably has the capability of controlling half of the world's population, talking about we're coming out with a coin that we control. No way. That's why they shut them down. Nobody controls Bitcoin. It's the people all over the world that's involved in it, and there's nobody that controls it. There's not one server. There's not one company. It is a network of people all over the world, and it's just controlled through the people. It's monitored by the people. It's value created by the people. There's no one person that can stop Bitcoin or control Bitcoin. It's not even the same comparison here. So this again shows you the lack of knowledge of what they know and don't know. And I'm telling you guys this so you can see the difference and the lack of knowledge and understanding of these people that are standing behind gold. Some of them may know what I'm saying, but they're on the opposition side. Like I said, no cab drivers would have told you guys to go ahead and start using Uber. Just think about it. They're going to talk bad about it. I mean, it's what they got to do, right? But I'm just showing you guys how far off their analogies are. I'm showing you guys how far off you can't even compare what Mark Zuckerberg was doing to what cryptocurrency is and the concept of decentralized cryptocurrencies. You can't even compare it because Bitcoin can be sent person to person without a third party. I guarantee you Mark Zuckerberg's coin will be controlled by him, which is the third party. So if I send something to another user on Facebook, he can stop that transaction or he can confiscate that transaction. Not even the same thing, okay? Not even the same thing at all. Or he can give the information to the governments and show them everybody who the government looking for, or the government want to stop from trading, or the government might be mad at, or you might owe taxes or whatever. This is totally controlled. This is not the same as Bitcoin. It is not even the same category at all. So that's a bad analogy. Okay, so she said, what else she said? She said that, so while Bitcoin is a more recent form of investment that is uncertainly receiving a lot of hype, gold has retained its value through centuries. Whether Bitcoin will offer the same level of longevity is highly questionable because she doesn't know the use case. See, nothing has value if it doesn't have a use case. Bitcoin has a use case. It actually can be used for some things. And so again, $1 trillion at $50,000 a coin, it finally hit $1 trillion. So where did that $1 trillion come from? Is that's something that's uncertain? Like she said, $1 trillion don't just pop up, you guys. $1 trillion mean this got some use case. Somebody's using this for something, and it has longevity that's not questionable, okay? I'm just going over this stuff because she's saying it's hype. And I don't see $1 trillion being hype. $1 trillion means some people need this, and there's a demand for this, and people see this as valuable. That's where $1 trillion comes, okay? All right, number 4. One of the assumptions, and this is Michael Reynolds, investment strategy officer at Glenmead. One of the assumptions underlying Bitcoin's bull case is its limited supply, but the supply of cryptocurrencies on a whole is theoretically unlimited. Not true. I mean, It is true that it is theoretically unlimited cryptocurrency. There are a lot of them, but there's different use cases. All cryptocurrencies don't do the same thing. Okay, how many fiat currencies in the world? Unlimited. You can just print them and print them and print them. How many US dollars in circulation? They can't tell you. So that's not a good, no, that's not a good example right here, because theoretically, cash, fiat cash is unlimited. Theoretically, you know? So again, these are the financial gurus. I'm using common sense, okay? Common sense is as common as ingeniousness. Remember I said that. I got that from my friend Kelbo. I don't steal nothing from nobody. Thanks, Kelbo, for that quote, because that's brilliant. Okay, but it has so far exhibited higher correlations and equities than gold, particularly during the periods of equity market stress when diversification tends to add the most value. The demand for Bitcoin may be over its skies. Okay, that's interesting. Relative to its likelihood to carve out a significant economic or financial use case. He's basically saying don't have no use case. He's basically saying that it's hype. He's basically saying that its anticipation is over its limit, and you know it's through the sky. It's not really relative. It's just a bunch of hype. That's kind of what he's saying. But I told you guys it has a use case, and there's a technology inside of it that people now are extracting to use for smart contracts and all kind of different other technologies that we have not yet explored yet. Okay, so it can change the whole dynamics of business. Period. It can disrupt companies like Facebook and Apple. It can disrupt these companies and redistribute wealth to the people. This has never been done before. Okay, number 5. We're going to say Robert Mentor, Director of Investment Strategy, Aberdeen Standard Investments. Okay, check this out. What he says: both crypto and gold have passionate investors' bases. However, there are very clear differences. Gold history as a basic building block of global money is 5,000 years old and time tested. Bitcoin is 10 years old and has existed only one monetary regime. The standard deviation of Bitcoin prices is 75%, making it a horrible store of value. Hold up now. Let me start right there. First of all, like he said, 5,000 years it took gold to get to $1,700 an ounce. 5,000 years. And he's saying Bitcoin only been going 10 years. Yeah, but Bitcoin in 10 years is 56,000 a coin, and it's not even a visible coin. I mean, I'm sorry, man. You telling me my eyes don't see what I see. You guys are telling me that it is not what it is. And, you know, here's a coin that's not a coin that has more value than a physical object that's been here millions of years. I don't know. You can't tell me that this is not a serious competitor. This is not a serious asset and a serious industry we need to really look at, because it deals with technology. That's just like me saying that, okay, the U.S. mail system been here since the Pony Express. It can't be inferior to email because email only been here since 1994. That's a stupid argument. It's not about how much time it's been here. That's not the point. The point is this technology is superior. We now have a way to hold and store value on the internet. We have a way now. We've created gold and silver on the internet. Basically, if you don't know what Bitcoin is, it has the same capabilities as money. What is money? What is gold? Gold is divisible. Gold is a unit of exchange. It's portable. It's durable. It's fungible, because an ounce of gold in my pocket is the same value as an ounce in your pocket, and it's a store of value. Okay, and what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin can be divided into 100 million parts. It's divisible. It's durable. You can't destroy Bitcoin. You can't even see it. It's fungible. A Bitcoin in my pocket is the same value as a Bitcoin in your pocket. Okay? It's portable as hell. You know, you can move it around. It's a unit that can be used in transactions of, and it's also a store of value. It's got the same characteristics. What's the difference? The only difference is one is physical and one is digital. That's the only difference. they have the same 6 characteristics. Wow. But I would much rather have that virtual product. Again, like I said, because if you have 2 bars of gold and someone comes to your house, they can confiscate that. A robber can steal that. Or a government can come in and say, hey, we don't think you should have this because we can't see where you can afford this. So we're going to confiscate this because it doesn't make sense for you to have this gold. What are you going to do? Nothing. So I prefer something that's private, that I can hold, that nobody knows how to get to but me. And it's the store of value that is stored away for me and my family that no one can confiscate. To me, that's valuable as hell. I'm sorry. That's more valuable than gold. Because again, if I want to move $1 million of Bitcoin right now, anybody on this call, I can send you $1 million of Bitcoin just by grabbing my phone right now. And you text me, and I can be sitting here talking to you guys, and I grab that link, and boom, it's sent right to their phone while we talking right here. How hard is it to move $1 million of gold? Tell me. You tell me. How do you move $1 million worth of gold? You're going to need a Brinks truck. You're going to need security. Oh, they're not free. You're going to have to pay for that. And you're going to have to hope and pray that some government authority is not going to just come and say, hey, we think this is an illegal gold. We think this is drug money. I mean, if they say that, what are you going to say? You got to go to court and prove that it's not. It might not be drug money, but it's just the fact that they can legislate and confiscate a physical object. And if they don't legislate and confiscate it, they could, it's going to be highly difficult to transport, period. So this is the problems that you're having with gold. It's not as easy to transfer gold into liquid. It's not that easy. It's a process. Whereas the crypto, just the other day, I sent Tron coin from my Tron wallet to an exchange and exchanged it in seconds to Bitcoin. And then in seconds, I sent it to my Cash App. And then in seconds, I sent it from my Cash App to my bank account. Bam, highly liquid. I love that. I can be on a cruise ship. I can be on an airplane before take off. I can do that. Even when they take off, you got internet. I can do this anywhere relatively without even bothering anybody. Wow. That's valuable as hell. And this is why Bitcoin has use case. It has a purpose. It has a functionality. And it's going to continue to grow as more people learn. And this is why we have a school in the Family Cash Machine to teach you guys how this can't be stopped, to teach you guys how much value this really has, to teach you guys how to use this to put your families in position to continue to grow in wealth. This is not going to stop. But the more you learn, the more ways that you're going to figure out how to make money here. And the more you're going to be unstoppable, the more you learn this stuff. And this is why we have our courses, the Family Cash Machine, Cryptocurrency College. We teach you guys money. We teach you guys all these different things that we're talking about, money versus currency. We teach you the differences between gold and, there's a benefits in having some gold, but also there's benefits in having crypto. And I think that crypto right now is a little more valuable. And I'm going to tell you why. Because these millennials, they don't know where to get some gold. Most of you guys, if I text you, hey, I need an ounce of gold, you don't even know where to start. But I would guarantee you, the millennials on this cell phone, on these iPhones, they can in seconds find Bitcoin and download it with this phone. They're very phone friendly. And this technology is based on cell phones, and digital technology is based on computers, laptops, iPads. These youngsters is going to run circles with this, and they're not going to go looking for no damn gold. I'm sorry, they're just not. They're not looking for something that's been around 5,000 years. The only thing they're going to do with some gold is make a damn gold necklace and a gold watch, maybe buy a Rolex. They're not looking to buy gold as a store of value. They're just not. That's the old guys. That's the old school. The new school is information. It's an information school. It's a school that values data. And that's all Bitcoin is. It's a store of multiple thousands and thousands and millions of transactions encrypted in a block. And that's where blockchain comes from. But you can also put assets on the blockchain, documents on the blockchain. And once you put it in there, it's dated, it's stamped, it's anybody can see it, and nobody can say, you can do copyright, trademarks, all of that on the blockchain, because it date stamps and signatures when the time you put it in there, and nobody could get around that. And everybody in the world can see, oh no, this was done on March the 13th. So anybody that comes up with any fake documents, it's not going to work. So the blockchain has so many purposes. in this world, it's not even funny. So again, you guys, we're moving into the future, and you guys have to understand what's happening, because I'm telling you, it's so much that you can do with this, and there's so much value in this. But you have to be willing to learn. You can't just jump out there. I talked to a gentleman yesterday who he listened to some of my videos. He jumped out there. He bought some Bitcoin and he won. He bought some. I think he bought like $1,500 worth, and it doubled to like 3,000. Great timing. But at the same time, he told me, he said, "Man, I really don't know what I'm doing." It was just about him jumping in on time and got, a little profit. But the more he learns now, he's going to be able to take that little profit and just expand that to and just blow that up like you wouldn't believe. Because with knowledge comes more, ways and information and data to be able to move. You only can move on what you know. You can't move in accord to what you don't know. So the more you learn, the more you'll be able to maneuver and move in this industry. It's like I said, there's so many ways to make money in this industry. It's not funny. I had my computer at one time. I had two computers and I left them on, and I was staking. Stake means that you get earning coins just by leaving your computer on, proof of stake. And that's passive income. You can do that all day long. And I left my computer on all day. I left it on staking, and I was staking these 2 coins that I made some money on. And I didn't have to do anything but just leave my computer on. That's one way to make money in this industry. So many other ways to make money, again, you guys, but you have to come to the Family Cash Machine and learn these ways. Don't just get stuck on Bitcoin, because like I said, I found the coin that did 5,000%. They're not talking about it. I found another coin that did 12,000%. One did 8,000%. I'm not going to name those coins because you got to come to our team to learn. But again, if you would have invested in those coins, you'd have made way more than the people made it with Bitcoins with just a little bit of money. 8,000%. That's crazy. It just happens all the time. There's millionaires every day being made in this industry, but you have to learn this. You can't just go out there and try to figure this out. It's a whole different beast. It's going to take you a lot of time, and you might even lose some money trying to learn. So why don't you just pay for a class and come and learn this? Because one of the gentlemen that I talked to last week lost $3,000 with some scam company when he could have just spent $350, $750, $250 in our classes and saved himself $3,000 loss. But he could have came in here with $250, $350, $750, learned this information, and then took $1,500 like that other gentleman and made some damn money instead of losing that money. So the courses not only are going to help you make money, it's going to help save you from being scammed. So with that, you guys, I'm going to sign out again. This is Erick Brent, Family Cash Machine. Follow the money. Peace.